Hello, lovely people. Super excited to be here. I am at Umbraco US Festival. This is the first time for me. Quite excited to be here. So I'm with Alan. Who are you?
Uh, well, I'm so glad you're here with me. My name is Alan Smith, and I lead developer relations for Umbraco here in the United States. Umbraco is an open source project. It's a content management system built on .NET, has a global community, and so we have a growing community here in the US, and I'm lucky enough that I get to help represent and support and grow that community here.
That's wonderful. So there's a lot of friendly folks here. We're in Chicago. The weather is amazing, which is great because where I live right now, autumn is like slowly coming up, and which means that winters is coming. But like in Chicago, beautiful sun, nice people. So about Umbraco, so you said it's a CMS, love it, great technology. I also love the fact that it's in .NET, fact that you may not know about me, I used to work at Microsoft. So I have a little something for, actually I love a lot of technologies, but I have a little something for .NET, especially .NET Core when it was a thing. It was like interesting to me. So from a developer point of view, how does Umbraco work? What does it make sense for me to use Umbraco as a developer?
Yeah, well, if you're coming from a .NET background, I would say it makes a lot of sense. So Umbraco sits on top of ASP.NET. So essentially, an Umbraco website is an ASP.NET website, and it has a framework on top of that with libraries and a built-in editing experience where you can create content models and things like that for editors who come in and edit the records. So it's kind of like a mixture of a framework with a built-in CMS. When I explain it to people, a lot of times I liken it to something like Django, where you have a framework, but you also have a built-in editing experience, but it's much more powerful than that and a lot more flexible and more extensible as well.
So far so good. I'm new to Umbraco.
Okay,
I mean, as I joined TinyMCE not too long ago, Umbraco, TinyMCE used to be the rich text editor. Now you can still use it if you install it from Marketplace, but I was trying it locally on my machine, and it was really easy with .NET, just using the CLI and using NuGet to install what I needed. And I had a CMS, and I had to play a little bit with the code to be sure that things were displayed and create a template, create a page. But from my point of view, that was quite straightforward. But at the same time, it was empowering to me as a developer, because sometimes, CMS, they were created for most of the time for people that are not technical. But I like that Umbraco seems to have, with my limited knowledge, I may be wrong, but with my limited knowledge, I feel like Umbraco is a good in-between, meaning that you can create a CMS for people that are not technical, that just want to create content, but you still empower developers to be able to make it their own CMS and build what they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. If you want to, you can fire up Umbraco and you can just create some basic doc types, and they have properties on them, and you just build a basic web page if you want to. But if you want to really get into the nuts and bolts of things, you can extend that whole experience using APIs and libraries. And the entire back end of Umbraco is now built with Lit and TypeScript and web components, so you could kind of bring whatever framework you want into that, which I think is really cool. And that's opening a lot of doors for people who want to extend that experience, but maybe they're not necessarily a .NET developer and they have experience with other tech stacks. And so I think that's a really interesting thing where we're kind of building bridges to other communities. But to answer your question, yeah, it's in that kind of middle ground, I think, where it's technical enough if it needs to be, but if you're a non-technical user, it's still pretty straightforward for getting something set up that you can run with.
Oh, sounds good. And right now, as I said, we're at a conference. We're at the Umbraco US Festival. What is the festival? What is that conference?
So the Umbraco US Festival is a completely community-run festival.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's completely community-run. It's sponsored by corporate sponsors. So Tiny is a sponsor, and we are really grateful for that. Umbraco, the company that I work for, is a sponsor as well. But the conference itself, the festival, is completely run by community volunteers. There's a separate organization called the Umbraco US Foundation, and it's its own entity, and they kind of help spearhead community events and things like that. And so every year they run this festival here. They bring everybody together, and it's just a wonderful experience for people who want to come and learn more about Umbraco. Maybe they've used it a little bit, or maybe they're just, we say Umbra curious, So it's just a great opportunity for people to come together and learn more and get to know each other.
Yeah, and it's perfect because like this morning we had some talks. This afternoon it's a little more hands-on. Like there's the partner event, but there's also a hackathon. There is a workshop. But the talks that I've seen so far, they have a mix between like for developers, for designers, for users of Umbraco. So it's also a great mix when it comes to the conference content. And the space is great. I did not know that space, MHub, but it's pretty good too. Last question for you.
Okay.
I've seen that you have a pretty interesting team of developer relations people, like developer advocates, which I love because I'm a developer advocate too. The more people out there doing their job, I think is just wonderful. So for people that may not know what is a developer advocate, basically, what's your job? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I like to think that I have one of the coolest jobs there is in tech, and it works for somebody like me because I come from a non-traditional background. And I know how to write code, and I've been writing code for many years, but I never studied it in school. And I've really never had the official title of being a developer in a professional capacity.
Okay.
But I've done lots of tinkering, and I've done lots of building. But I also have experience, say, like as a teacher, and I also have experience creating content. Like I used to work in the film industry, so it's a nice way for me to kind of tap into those different skill areas. I think developer relations is one of those things where you're building developer communities in a lot of different ways, and it requires so much more than code, as I'm sure you know.
Yes.
And so it takes people who have maybe not deep experience in a particular area, but like broad experience in a lot of different things, and that's something that I really like a lot. To me, developer relations is just building relationships with other developers. And that's what I like. I like meeting people and helping people meet each other. And so
I agree. I agree. This is why I'm happy to be here. First, it's a new community for me. As I said, Umbraco in itself also is new for me. So there is the new technology, there's the technology part, but there's the new community. And that is even more exceptional because we don't have booths, so there is no booths here, even if you're a sponsor. So I don't have to be on booth duty, but also I'm not even giving a talk. So I'm really free to listen, sit down. And if I want to be honest, most of the time when I go to conferences, I don't always listen to talk. I just spend my time to talk to people. And this is basically what we do. So awesome. So thanks for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you. And we still have like another amazing day and a half of the festival.
I'm very excited. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Bye, everyone.
See you.